Doan Shockley with Marty Lucia Ports, and today we're going to make a salmon piccata. Piccata is a classic dish done with veal or chicken primarily, but today I'm going to make a little bit of salmon, and we're going to pair it with our Chardonnay from Resta. This is a Chardonnay. The grapes are grown in the Puglia region, which is down south, so it's kind of hot and kind of dry. So this Chardonnay's got wonderful acidity. It's got a good balance to it. I think it's going to be a great pairing today with our salmon piccata. I'm going to start off, I'm going to open this up and have a little taste while we get going here. So, nice little area down in Puglia. Because it is hot and dry, they have to pick the grapes a little bit earlier than they do in some regions. So it's got good acidity. And also because it's dry, it's almost like the grapevines have to suck up some of the dirt to get any moisture. And so it's got a good minerality to it as well, which I love, and that's really that old world kind of style, and you get that in this Chardonnay from Resta. So, nice golden color. That's delicious, and it's going to go wonderful with our salmon today. So, very quick and easy dish. I've got about an 8-ounce piece of salmon here. I've got a hot skillet. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in my skillet. And just a touch of salt and pepper on the salmon. It's not going to take much because the capers are very salty and we don't want to over salt the dish. So I'm going to put the salmon in down. We call this presentation side first. This is the side that had the skin on it. So I'm going to have that up to begin with so that when I flip it, this side will be up. We call it the presentation side. So I'm going to put this side down first. Give it a little bit of a shake here to help keep it from sticking. You heard that sizzle, that means we're getting a good sear on the outside. I like my salmon medium rare to medium. I think when you overcook it, it gets a little bit too dry, so I'm not going to cook this all the way through. Initially, I'm going to start it off here on top of the stove, and I'm going to put it in the oven while I finish off the sauce, and I'm going to combine the two at the very end, and we'll have a wonderful little dish here. So it should have a good sear on that side. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over here. So we're just starting a nice little light brown golden color on it. That's what we want. Let it go for just a minute on this side. I'm going to throw it in the oven to finish it off. And when we come back, we'll finish off the sauce. Okay. All right, so it's nicely brown on both sides. I'm going to take it out and put it in the oven at 350 degrees while I make the sauce. And it will just finish cooking through while it's in there. And give us just enough time to make the sauce. So you can see I've got a little bit of salmon that's stuck to the pan. We call that the fond. I'm going to deglaze. That'll bring up those little cooked bits that are in there. And then let this reduce down. It'll come to a boil. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice. Squeeze it upside down, I'll keep the seeds out of it. It's going to have a nice lemony flavor to it, offset by the saltiness of these capers. I'm going to put my capers in, let it reduce down a little bit more, and I'm going to finish it off with some butter, which will richen up the sauce and actually thicken it up a little bit. So this Chardonnay goes extraordinarily well with this. Like I said, it's got that good acidity that'll complement the tartness. It's got enough body to it to overcome the saltiness, and it's just a really, really nice combination. So you can see it's coming to boil there, so it's going to reduce down pretty quick once it gets going. Right. Okay. All right, so you can see it's down to where there's not much liquid left. It's almost at a boil, or it is boiling. I'm going to add the butter slowly. I'm going to do one little pat at a time and slowly swirl it in And that will keep the sauce nice and thick and rich. You can see it's starting to thicken up and get almost a creamy color to it. I'm going to turn the heat off now while that finishes melting that butter. It's going to be so good. It's amazing how the butter will actually thicken up a sauce like that if you incorporate it. If it breaks, then you have that kind of oily film to it, but like this it should stay nice and thick. So I'm going to let that finish melting. I'll get the salmon out of the oven and we're going to be good to go here. Here's our beautiful piece of salmon. I can tell it's medium rare. I think it'll be just perfect. Put that on the plate. A little bit of our sauce here. Get lots of these capers on top of there. And fish it off, I'm going to chop up just a little bit of parsley real quick. A little chopped parsley right on top. There we have some salmon piccata with Resta Chardonnay. I'm Doan Shockley for Martin Ulysses Imports, and manja manja.